Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now as promised, we're going to head out to somebody who actually is visiting Pakistan. He happens to be a Japanese Pakistani. He's been over there for the last 3 decades. And Japan, when we talk about a country on this map or on this globe, we do know that it is more prone to such natural catastrophes as well. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we're very lucky that we've been joined by somebody who happens to be a journalist in Japan. He happens to be Mr. Humayun MUGHAL. Hello sir, ohayo gozaimasu. Ganki desu ka?
Genki desu ka?
How are you, sir?
Yes, thank you very much. After a long time to see you here, you know.
Likewise, sir, likewise. Thank you very much for joining us.
Here, and really enjoyed talking on the PTV world and giving the reports, everything.
And it's wonderful to have you over here as well. You every time you're in Pakistan, you take out time, and it's so good to get to know about the culture of Japan, because most of the time I am importing my cars from Japan. So I do. And the best part about Japanese people is very honest. Dead honest people, and whatever they are promising you, that's what you're going to get as well.
They're very punctual also, especially their bullet trains and the punctuality.
So they know that what the time is when the bullet train arrives.
Yes.
But so very quickly, let's come down to, we obviously know that it's a very sad state of affairs over in Pakistan. More than 1,100 people have died in the recent floods. And when we look at Japan, whenever, God forbid, if it was tsunami or an earthquake, we do see how within a year's time, they recover from it, they build back stronger, and there's no comparison about the preparedness they have, and we over here do lack that preparedness, and unfortunately this time around it is worse than the 2010 floods as well. So how do Japan plan for their preparedness? How do they, or are they always ready for such a catastrophe?
Yeah, actually, I'm living more than 38 years in Japan, and I also experienced the tsunami. I was there. There was an earthquake.
Eventually, you started to look like a Japanese too as well.
So that's why I experienced that kind of thing. So I can feel this, this painful feeling of the Pakistani people. That's why today, I'm here to make a documentary actually about this flood. So I'm going to show on my Japanese media, and a lot of the Japanese NGOs want to come here actually. So they send me, go, and I'm just going to make a documentary and show them. So most of the Japanese people, they are very well educated about this, tsunami or whatever. So every month, we have training.
Okay.
My children also training. If an earthquake comes, mostly Japan is an earthquake country,
Yes.
So we are already prepared mentally. So that's why they can handle it very well. And education is very important, So I think in Pakistan we need to educate them to, how to survive when you survive. But mostly we believe in religion, we make it, Allah can see, everything depends on God. But Japan, Japanese say, okay, God is also help us, but somehow we have to help each other as a humanitarian.
I think that is one of the very fundamental aspect of our religion also, because Allah says that He's going to help those, who will help themselves. It's ingrained in our, religious philosophy when it comes to that. So, our producer Sal was briefing us about, how there's a Tunaba festival in Japan, where after the catastrophe, after the calamity, they all gather there, and it's mostly about hope and, how they look out for each other and learn from each other and help out each other. So do you want to shed some light on that?
Yes, after, when you get decided, a lot of my friends, they get, victim in the tsunami.
Or they're displaced.
They're displaced, they have no home. But so, the community is very, lovely. They make it tsunami means how to join the human relation to each other. So they became, we are the family. They get together, especially they get to cut the tree and get together, making fires and cooking, everything. So we don't feel that we are stranger. Everybody is like a family. We feel he's my brother, he's my sister, he's my aunt, he's my grandmother. So this kind of education, Japanese, they teach them when they was in the, primary school or middle school. They call it moral and ethics education. So this is very important, to love your neighbor, help your neighbor, So this kind of, the tsunami is like how to make you, because they lose their families, I lose my lot of friends, in tsunami. We went there, especially with Pakistan Embassy helping us. We go and cook there and feeding them, and they enjoy it. Oh, Pakistani people come. We say, no, we are also family of you. Because we live there,
True.
Our Japanese wives are there, our children are Japanese. So somehow we have to make this tsunaba is a kizuna. Kizuna is a tie up your heart relationship.
Wow.
Kizuna.
This is how, they build, I think, the fraternity, the brotherhood, and, the love and the harmony around it, right, when it comes to that. So you were a journalist, right?
Yes.
You have been reporting there, and then you also are familiar with Pakistani culture when it comes to that. So, and you've seen, how media is giving coverage to the flood. Even after when, the damage has been done, there was not very much debate or discourse on that when it comes to that. So So how do you think we, the people who are actually in the media, can help out those who are affected by the flooding, especially when it comes to creating a narrative out of it?
Especially I'm always watching the Japanese, Pakistani media in Japan. So mostly most of people are using as a political issues.
Yeah.
Right.
So they just want to make publicize their own political things, not helping by heart.
Right.
So I just give them some suggestion that when you are using this container for your political reason, put this 100 container to there.
Yeah.
Container is the best house, I think. They can save life.
Right.
They can save their, it's like a home.
True.
Right.
And especially in Japan also, what the government do, they put the container house, more than thousands of container house.
Yeah.
So this is the point I think not the government is very weak. Our government is not so financial problem. But these political people, that the rich people, what can do? I think they can buy 2 or 3 container.
And in addition to that, sir, since you've mentioned it, I believe that it's a brilliant idea, because every time we really need to block some roads,
Yes.
all we're using is containers. So why
Yes.
not provide people
Yes.
with containers rather than tanks? And I think it will be more than sufficient for them. But in addition to that, there's one more problem.
Yeah.
Now, this other problem is of trust. Now, when we talk about people in Japan, for all of those friends I have in Japan, or people who've been traveling from Japan to over here, they've been telling me, and I have had these business relations with them where they've always found them dead honest, always on time. Whatever they commit for, that's what you're going to get. Unfortunately, over here in these times, we have seen that these public messages, which are all over the social media or the media, the conventional media as well, the problem is of trust. People want to donate, people want to do their best, but they do not trust these NGOs.
Yes.
Because just very recently, not very recent, I think we go back to like 3-4 years ago, a lot of NGOs were shut down because of their malpractices.
That's right.
How do we get that element of trust into all of these NGOs so that people start to believe in them, that whatever we are sacrificing, our chunk of hard work, it's going to get down to the very real asset?
That's right, because when there was in Kashmir, there was earthquake in Balochistan and Balakot, I brought more than 50 NGOs to Japan. Because how we predict that? Because first they send me to report them that where we can put. They bring their food by hand and they distribute by themselves. So they said we send the money, but you don't know money where it goes. They come here, I took them to the market, they buy the rice and everything, the oils and everything, and we give them food by hand. So a lot of the Japanese students, they come with me. So they said, 30 years we have been doing this. NGOs, MPOs, how to help Pakistan. Because we Pakistani was helping to the in tsunami time.
True.
Now they also asked me that, Mr. Mughal, go.
How did we reach out to Japanese, when it was tsunami and they were badly struck by tsunami?
Yeah, actually, when tsunami came, most of people run away from there because there is a nuclear, plant was there, and they're afraid. But most of Pakistani, we have believed in God. We believe in Allah. Now we rush to there. We took a lot of the rich people give us the meat and halal food, but Japanese don't know how to cook it.
Yeah.
And finally we cooked it and we feed them. And they say, oh, we can enjoy the Pakistani food. Oh, Pakistani people are very good. And the Prime Minister of Japan, Mr. Abe, he appreciated it. Royal family appreciated to the Pakistan.
Wow.
And Pakistan Embassy makes a lot of this exhibition and showing how Pakistan is helping to the Japan. So same like now we have been helping them. Now they have the heart of helping to the Pakistan. They feel they love Pakistan actually. So they want to come. So maybe in future I'll bring them 2 or 3 NGOs.
Sure.
And it's matter of trust, but they trust me actually, and I trust to the people. And by hand.
And even if it's not NGOs, just bring in your Japanese friends. We would
Yes,
love to
yes.
host them any
Yes,
day,
of course.
any single day, and we will feed them with biryani,
Yes, that's
mutton karai, and whatever you wish for to as well. But thank you very much, Mr. Humayun, for being with us. It's always lovely to be in conversation. But very quickly, there's this question which has always been in my heart today. I want to ask it. So every time you're on the show, you always have this red scarf on you.
Yes.
What is the significance of this red scarf?
Actually, red scarf is due to the energy,
Okay.
So mostly, people are making a green, but actually I learned from Mr. Anthony Inoki, he's a wrestler.
Okay.
I was his coordinator 30 years.
Wow.
So it's his costume. So whenever he's coming the ring, when he says, "Change this scarf," it means people get energy.
But a wrestler might only wear a scarf, no?
We never miss scarf. But it's like a show time,
Yeah.
show business.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Humayun, for being with us. Lovely to be in conversation. And very sorry. Why could you take it forward?
Okay, so I always say that cross-cultural communications are always good, because especially in the times of calamity, because people want to help out, people want to reach out, and this is very important that we have Pakistan expat community in Japan, and they want to reach out, and they're very helping, especially the people who are in the dire need when it comes to that. And also, Shahzad shared the tweet from one of the Japanese, political leadership, where they actually reiterated this point that, this calamity is not because of the, the natural disaster. It was a human-made calamity, right? Because of the climate change.
So once again, towards the end, I think it's Gaki Diska. Thank you very much, people, for tuning in. While the Zaimus, until the next time, look after yourselves. Make sure that you support. Make sure that you donate by texting at 9999 or to the Prime Minister Flood Relief Fund, where the account number is D12164. Till the next time, look after yourselves. Good morning. Wonderful. Enjoyed it thoroughly.
Thank you.
अच्छा तो पाकिस्तानी कम्युनिटी किस तरह की है वहाँ पे एक्सपर्ट्स जो रहते हैं जापान में?
काफी लोग हैं
बड़े खुश हैं
in the car business, the British people.
मेरा दोस्त है